Well, good morning, guys. Definitely want to welcome everybody here to the Top Shelf Spring Edition live sale here. This is the initial preview. We have it scheduled at 10:30. It's 10:33. That's probably the best we've ever done for this. But again, we're here in Cameron, Missouri, the Team Sloan sales facility, Top Shelf sale that's kind of becoming a tradition here. I think an idea that that Troy and company had kind of tossed around and said, hey, we're going to do it on a Wednesday there in Cameron, Missouri, and I didn't know for sure if it would work. And I'd say now a mainstay in the show pig world, and an event that I know myself and a lot of the guys here that have come definitely make it a regular, and I have to come actually. As we were leading in and kind of cruised there to buy pigs for this next time, they said, where do we need to be, where do we want to go? And I said, well, we're going to go to Top Shelf for sure. And so I truly do believe a sale that's packed full with quality, awesome consigners, as well as the Sloan crew here. And we're going to run through the preview there this morning. Obviously, the sale is tonight at 7 o'clock, and kind of go through the schedule of events today. We'll have obviously this preview here, 10:30. It's going to last a couple hours. We'll definitely post that there. It's obviously Walton Webcasting, and then we'll be on the KV website or Facebook page, if you will. Then 3:30, if you guys can make it out, they'll have a happy hour there, and obviously incredible facility to host a sale, but it'll be a lot of good camaraderie and fellowship here this afternoon. 5 p.m. we'll have an official live preview as well. That'll be on KV's Facebook page. 6:30 there'll be a dinner. It'll be awesome there, and 7 o'clock is the sale. So again, first preview here, we're going to kind of run through at we won't go at a real fast pace, but we'll definitely keep things efficient, and it will be posted there if you go back and review there online. So as we kick off things here, the first breeder in will be Hildy Show Pigs. We've got four consignments, but the first two from Hildy will be tag 71 and tag 34. For you guys online, it's obviously hard to read the tag number, and so Troy's done an awesome job of color coordinating things. The color does not mean absolutely anything other than for identification for you guys online, so don't think that's first round, second round, third round, anything there. They will sell tonight in tag order. Lot 1 or tag 1 will be the first one in through tag 99. These first two here, the blue tag is tag 71. That's a crossbred male pig here. Again, Hildy Show Pigs. Yellow tag is the gilt, tag 34.
Well, good morning, and certainly I want to thank Team Sloan here for the opportunity to be back here in Cameron, Missouri on a Wednesday, and as Kelton alluded to, kind of become a yearly tradition. I told Troy that he was absolutely crazy when he wanted to have the first one of these, and sure has become a mainstay and an event that we look to yearly. So thanks to the crew for having us. This first pair of ours, I'll talk the male pig first. He's tagged 71. He is a main line to the extreme, and then never before after that goes back to a really good sow. We actually own that pig's mother with Chet and Caleb Bowden there in Virginia. A good crew of guys, and pumped to own that sow with them. She's done an awesome job as a show gilt. She was champion gilt at Eastern Regional there a couple years ago, and I think this pig exemplifies kind of mainline, wild looking, stout featured, good built, and really uses his rear skeleton well. That was a really good litter, but that for sure was the highlight pig of that litter, and one we had kind of pegged to come here. The gilt there, tag 34, another main line. She is a main line out for blood, and then after that would be the 49-3 Stay Classy sow that we always refer to as Pace Car's mom, and I think that's a gilt that as a show gilt, absolutely wild looking, and I think one that has a very big show window. I think you could show that gilt through the fall and into the winter, and who knows where you end up. And then I think on the bottom side of her pedigree, I'd be pumped to put that one back in a sow herd.
Yeah, again, first two lots here from Hildy. I think the biggest thing there we talk, or not biggest thing, but I wrote last night wild looking, and you said that 3 times, and I'd say that definitely depict this first pair. Awesome way to kick off the preview here for Top Shelf. Again, blue tag is the male, that's 71. Yellow tag is the gilt, 34. Next pair here, and again, Will's consignments there, Hildy's Show Pigs. It will be his leadoff will be tag number 2. That's going to be the orange tag, tag number 2, and then the red tag is tag 88.
Well, tag 2 there would be our leadoff, a pig that honestly I don't spend a whole lot of time looking at pigs in the farrowing house or in the nursery, but that's one that I found not long after we got him weaned, and man, this culture shock thing is going to be real good. Those pigs have surfaced here in the spring in pig sales, and I think that not only are they going to surface in pig sales, but they're going to surface as summer goes on, because I think they're awesome built, awesome skeleton ones. And that pig, I absolutely love his maturity pattern. His mom's a first litter sow there. She's a shock and all, and actually on the bottom side of that shock and all goes back to a sow that we got from Lackey, and that sow has that 44 liter Dirty Secret sow that Jason's referenced in his program several times that they've built around. No doubt have had that pig kind of identified to come here for quite some time. The other pig, the red tag, I believe 89? 88, I'm sorry. Another young sow that's off to a great start. He's an all-access back on a blow and smoke sow. That sow would actually be a Mojo's mom, the blue boar there at upper hand. Pig that's maybe just a little greener and skinnier at this stage of the game, but I like him in terms of proportionality. I like him in terms of just a pig that has a good feeding look to him. Can't say it enough. Thanks to Team Sloan for having us, and if you got any questions, reach out to any of the breeders. And I think one other point that maybe we didn't touch on in the opening comments, there's trucks going absolutely every direction after this, so we can get those pigs where you need them. So reach out to one of us, and we could sure make it happen.
Well, thank you, Will. Again, this is his final 2 here. Tag 2 is the leadoff. That was the orange tag, and red tag was tag 88. Next up, we've got Platt Show Pigs. The first pair here in the ring will be tag 81. He's got a blue tag. That's a crossbred gilt there, crossbred gilt, belted gilt there is tag 81. I believe a litter mate male pig, solid white Yorkshire appearing pig will be tag 44.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity. Top Shelf is always a good one, regardless of what time of the year, and success comes out of here in winners. Excited about the trio we've got. We've got a pair of mates. They're out of First Blood, which would be the red belted boar there that we got from Boble. The Out for Blood son, first crop here, and very excited about that one. We used him again. Pair of mates. Their mother actually bought from Corb here, I think 3 years ago, 2 years ago maybe. My boys showed her. She was reserve blue there at Kansas City. Promotion daughter, First Blood promotions, the way the pedigree is. The gilt is tag 81. She's one that's kind of been slotted for this event for a good while. I think she's a gilt that's going to be fun to show, regardless if it's next month or you can last a good while with her. 44 is a solid white pig. Maybe just didn't take the trip quite as good. Like that pig quite a bit, and I think some visitors came through. That pig will stay solid white. He's level, he's square. I think he's going to just do everything in proportion. That pig will show a little more width and power once he fills back up, but I think a real good pair. That sow's done a darn nice job for us. Tag 81 is the gilt, 44 is the white pig.
Yeah, an awesome feeding pair there. Obviously, different colors, different destinations, but look like ones that look the part right now, but look like they definitely have a great feeding ability, as Travis said there. But a good way to kick off Platt Show Pigs. Mate pigs here. The gilt is 81. The white crossbred male pig is tag 44. Platt brought us a trio here for Top Shelf, and the leadoff of theirs will be the next one in the ring here. It's crossbred male pig, dark crossbred pig. He's got an orange tag. Obviously, he'll be the only one in here, so that doesn't necessarily matter, but he is tag 12, again, Platt Show Pigs.
This is a boar pig that we've had slotted for this a good while. I don't know if guys will say that, but this pig's been pretty good from the start. Boar Barra, do with it what you want. He's a result of a bred gilt purchase that we made in partnership with Wilcox Show Cattle there out of the all-in bred gilt sale. That goes back. Pedigree is a Pulse, which is a boar there at Danners, the Heimer Kong son that's done an awesome job here in the first crop. Mom would be a Stay Classy. Stay Classy, and then it Trick Daddy, Stay Classy, and then goes back to the Timber Sow. And this boar pig's been one that's been awfully fun to watch. Only male pig in the litter, but I think got some very big pieces, and he is tagged 12.
Yeah, definitely a highlight last night as we kind of kicked through and kind of gave the initial preview for the breeders and guys that were here in attendance. And what's neat about this pig is if you kind of got him in here and guessed what the pedigree was, he looks like the pedigree reads, and it's almost the best parts of everything on that line. And the Kong deal has been awesome for Heimers, and I think this pulse boar, these are the first two pigs that are in the offering tonight. This one and one that Danner's brought that I've seen out of the board, and looks like very promising there. So awesome board prospect, a male pig, Barra prospect, however you want to see this one, but definitely a highlight here of Platt Show Pigs. That again is their lead off, tag number 12. Trace Amigos brings a trio of them here for us. There, we're going to start off with a single here. Yellow tag, be tag 36, a belted crossbred gilt. Another one of those that was very memorable. As I went back to the hotel last night, kind of thinking through things, this gilt was definitely one I remembered. Again, tag 36. This is the first one from Trace Amigos.
Well, thanks, Kelton. And again, this would be 34-4. This wasn't a huge litter for us, but the litter is very good. There's 4 pigs within that litter, but this one we think is, in our opinion, one of the better ones that we raised within this group, and maybe here in recent memory. So her pedigree would read All Access Woke Timber. This gilt's mom this would be her first litter. She would have been shown by Langhoff, had her in Iowa. She won quite a few times. We were fortunate enough to get her back and returned back after Iowa State Fair. And again, I'm excited about this gilt. I think she does have a long shelf life, show window. But at the same time, I really like her pedigree and the sows that are behind her. So that'd be tag 36 from Trace.
You know, we're going to say it several times as we kind of work through the sell order there, but I'd probably not put just a whole bunch of emphasis as far as sell order goes. You'll see that more prevalently as we kind of go. We definitely got things sprinkled in, gilts, males as we kind of go through there, but obviously not their lead off, but a gilt there, tag 36 that I think would be at the top of most people's list there. And as Justin said, whether we show next week, we show at the end, or the South Prospect, if we don't have a lot of stars on this one, I think you're missing the boat for sure. So again, first one for Trace, tag 36, crossbred gilt. The next pair in here from Trace Amigos will be obviously their leadoff will be the orange tag. It'll be tag 4. The next one will be another crossbred male pig, tag 73. He's got the blue tag.
As Kelton said, a pair of littermates here. Their pedigree read one way. That's the board there at Moyers, and probably a board that we've used. I know he is a board that we've used on as many sows, and probably ordered as many doses out of one way here in the last 3 breeding seasons as any boar. One Way himself has worked extremely well at our house, not only generating very sellable babies, but pigs that go on and feed. And then behind this pig's mother would be what we refer to as the swallow sow. Honestly, this is a sow that's getting a little more age on her, but her consistency of generating winners every time has been very welcoming, and it's something that we know when we put that one in the crate, no matter what she's bred to, we're going to be able to chase a banner, a piece of a division somewhere. And her last litter here in 25, she would have had the 3rd overall D2 there at Iowa. She would have had the reserve D1 there at Royal in 23. She had the 6th overall lightweight, or 6th overall gilt there at Arizona. In her first litter there in 22, she would have raised the Straka Bear, the one Tulsa. So also reserve medal there at North American as well. So this sow has been very, very consistent for us. We like this set of pigs. And this pair of males, the belted one there, I think, again, ready to show, stout featured, proportional, very, very square. And that is tag number 4. That'll be our lead off. The blue tag is 73. That'd be his mate. That's a little, maybe a little greener, but I think has got a wild look and a big ring pieces.
Obviously, incredible pair, a pair of litter mates here that I think a unique way of combining a stoutness of feature and an immature look that I think will stick with them all the way through. And kind of those deals, like Justin said, the blue tagged one's maybe just a shot greener than the other, but is obviously just the exact same mold and same pattern. Awesome feet and legs, great joint work and footwork there at the surface. A really good pair here. Again, 4 and 73, Tres Amigos. Next up, we've got True Genetics there. We've got 4 of them from True. The first pair in the ring will be a pair of litter mates, again, sired by Culture Shock. We'll let Isaiah talk about those there, but you've already probably seen Culture Shock. If we were going to name a premier sire, it'd probably have to be him, the top shelf sale, and maybe of this selling season there for sure. But we've got a pair of Culture Shocks here. The yellow tagged one is tagged 37. The blue tag is tagged 74. Again, True Genetics.
Both of these pigs are litter mates. Are going to be 96 litters. Tag 37 is going to be 96-3. Tag 74 is going to be 96-2. Their mom would be a first-time gilt from Laird, and the grandma would have raised Welch's Reserve Division gilt at NJSS in 24, and the 4th overall bear at the Kentucky State Fair in 2024.
I say litter mates here, and kind of obviously we have the tag numbers, tag colors, but the more traditionally belted one there, that's tag 37. The chromed up one, white back legs, there is tag 74. Definitely ones that I started last night and told the crew to make sure we look at them again whenever they get back out here. Again, a good litter, good pair of them here out of Culture Shock. I'm not real sure how you could go wrong with this pair, and that's not just sales pitch. I've got both of them starred, both of them are highlighted here, and again, I know ones that True Crew is really, really proud of here. Again, 37 is the belted one, yellow tag belt. 74 would be the chromed up male pig. Drew brings another pair here. Their leadoff will have the orange tag. That is tag number 5, another belted crossbred male pig. Tag 91, red tag. She's the crossbred gilt. Again, True Genetics. Tag 5 and 91.
We're going to lead off with tag 5. He's going to be a mainline game time. We purchased her as a bred gilt from Corb and purchased from Tres Amigos. And then tag 91 would be out of a first-time gilt from Hogue. That would have been reserve at the North Iowa Showdown, and the grandma would have been grand champion for Hogue at the Illinois Showdown. Is that right? She's a hang tight, no inflow fiction.
Again, that leadoff is out of mainline, and we've already seen a few of the main lines. Going to see a few more of them here, but of the population that I've seen, that one maybe is the most advanced in terms of forerib and body shape of any of the main lines at this particular time, and still has that neat presence and look that boar's definitely stamped in them there. Black-headed gilt looks like one, if she'll just get chubby, she's going to be incredibly good. High time, really, really wild up front, still wide between her eyes, and awesome leaving. Yeah, greener body right now, but looks like one of those that as she fleshes will be incredibly good show gilt there. A little scrappy there. She's got a little swollen eye, but looks like it's already on the mend from where we saw it last night. She is tag 91. That's the red tag gilt, black-headed gilt there, tag 91. True's leadoff is tag 5. Next in, we've got David Korb Farms. We bring a pair of them here. Tag 89 will have either red tag 89, tag 90 would be the white tag. Again, a pair of crossbred gilts, another pair of litter mates out of one way. We'll let David talk about his first two. Again, 89 and 90.
Well, first off, as always, I want to thank Team Sloan for hosting this event and inviting us. I think it's going on maybe 5 years now, and it's always exciting to bring good livestock to this event, and it always goes well. We get started here on a pair of 66-litter gilts. Get this one out of the way here. This gilt is limping. Obviously, we'll guarantee her. Kind of got a little hurt coming back from the wash rack yesterday, and so just how it goes, taking pigs to a pig sale. But I think if you're looking for one that maybe might just undersell at times, hey, that's a good option. That was a gilt I was very proud of when we left. So this is a pair of gilts here. One Way's Next Intention. Kind of goes back to that same line we've been running with and winning a bunch with there on the King of the Hill Cruel Best Man side. Pair I like a good deal. You know, I think this gilt maybe fits a little bit more of a market hog type of a show. This one's maybe more of a breeding type, but I think both of them are backed by very predictable genetics. Obviously, that One Way thing is hot. We've liked ours, and I think this is why.
Again, when you think of David coming to a sale, it seems like some of the highlight gilts, and prides himself on showcasing his program there with some incredibly good females. He brought 4 of them this time, 5 total, but 4 gilts, and this is a pair of litter mates, again, marked highly last night. Again, the white tag would be tag 90. The red tag, the whiter belted one, is tag 89. Bring a trio in here. Again, we're still on Corp Farms here. The leadoff will be the orange tag. It's tag 3, another crossbred belted gilt there. Tag 35 would be the male pig. He's tag 35. He's got a yellow tag. The blue tag will be tag 72. Should be the white crossbred gilt.
We'll go ahead and start talking about this belted gilt here. She gets a little fast, and I think part of that is I was joking in the wash rack that she's just so athletic. I think this gilt skeleton is second to none. I love her design. She's a one-way on a game time 40-5, and so we'll talk about that 40-5 sow again here in just a second. This sow would be her second litter. In her first litter, she made the Madewell barrow that was second in class in the Blues there at San Antonio, and not a pig that I thought should have won or anything like that. It was just a pig that fed very well, a pig I was very proud of, and I think that's what this gilt kind of resembles, a pig that's just going to get better as she matures. For me, looks like a lady. Her mom's incredible in the crate, going to make an awesome sow someday. Tag 35 here is going to be a culture shock, no huddle, stay classy. That stay classy sow's been on the top or the bottom side of a lot of very good barrows for us over the years. This pig, it just looks like what she kind of makes. That no huddle sow's done a great job for us. Obviously, the culture shock thing's been great, been a lot of fun. You know, that bear's got a high ceiling for me. I just love his form, his head, his look, his rib cage. I think you just kind of keep him in check. You can win a lot of shows with that kind. The white pig here is going to be a white flag. The sow would be a hard hat. Hard hat was a purebred Yorkshire boar we had at the house. He's a take on me all by myself, Leap sister. Then behind that's the wide awake 40-5 sow. So that 40-5 sow is kind of one of our very best that we're building around. You heard me talk about it on this particular sow. You maybe just hasn't won a big show yet, but made plenty of seconds, thirds, sale qualifiers. I've been on the bottom side of plenty of reserve divisions at Texas Majors over the last couple of years. Just been a high-quality sow. Obviously, very going to be Yorkshire classifying there. Should stay solid white, even if I think you maybe even let her in the sun just a little bit, but one that offers a lot of quality in terms of stoutness and power. So once again, thanks to Sloan for having us. As always, we're going to try to bring our best here. I didn't have a whole bunch of males in the set, so we had to bring gilts.
Well, thank you, David. I do think a really high-quality set of them, and obviously gilt heavy. But I think as you see all throughout the top shelf sale, you looked at pictures around here from the Team Sloan offerings and look back on Facebook or back through results. Well, the gilts that have sold through here, the show careers that they've had, but as David talked about, the sow families they come from. If you're looking at a gilt from a resale value standpoint or to build a sow herd on, you definitely have that opportunity here. So awesome group of them. Again, the leadoff is the thin belted one. That's tag number 3. The male pig is tag 35, and the other gilt there, the solid white gilt there, is tag 72. Corp Farms. Next in, we've got Danner Livestock here, the first two that will have a thin-belted crossbred gilt. She'll have the yellow tag. She's tagged 43. The crossbred male pig, another belted one here. Danner Livestock, this one will be tagged 80.
We'll start with this gilt here. She is a Sheridan she's a Sheridan All Rise. Her mom would have actually came from Mullet. She would have won her class there at the Expo the year Brenning judged, and a blue one got along underneath him. That probably speaks tons. This gilt is one we've always liked from the start in terms of her elevation and just her general kind. This male pig, tag 80, he's a Sheridan tricked out king size. His mom would have actually been purchased from Sloan. She was a gilt. He would have sold at Sweethearts. She ended up third out in her division there at the Indiana State Fair. The king size sow would have sold in last year's source to Mullet, or 2 years ago, I think, and one that was very, very fun to look at. That sow's been a blast to work around for sure.
Thank you, Blake. Again, a pair of Sheridan sired pigs, obviously not litter mates here. The gilt is tag 43. The male pig is tag 80. A pair here, and I guess you'll see that third one here that comes in a minute that I thought resembled each other quite a bit. Height, the shoulder, levelness, and ability to balance from the side and keep things collected on the go. They're so square and so good in terms of their muscle texture and their footwork. Again, have the feeding ability, look ready today, but definitely look like have an awesome future. Again, first pair, Danner Livestock. 43 is the gilt, 80 is the male pig. Next in will be Danner's lead off here. This will be tag number 11, another crossbred male pig, tag 11, Danner Livestock.
Tag 11, crossbred male pig here is a Pulse toe-to-toe Disciple Kingpin. His mom would have actually been purchased there from True as a baby pig, and one that was very, very fun to watch grow out. More importantly, this pig's grandma would have won her class at Indiana. She would have originated from the Heimer crew, and that sow had a littermate Barra that Emma Garland got to show that we were so fond of amongst our crew. Our leadoff here is one that I just really, really like in terms of his kind, what he represents, and a pig that I think can get across the finish line at a high level.
I made a reference earlier when Platts was in that this is the first two Pulse pigs, and this was the other one I was referencing here. There, a boar there that I think we're going to see a lot of there. And talking to Blake, I know they're really fond of him. And again, that boar was a Kong there from Heimer, and then they've got there at Purple Power. And I think this boar really represents a lot of the same things: looseness of joints and athleticism, and kind of combining that with a monstrous pin set and upper skeleton width there, but still true at the surface. Has the right length of body to make a big one that can still go and have enough performance, but still proportions are right. And again, I think the future, or I guess opportunities, are limitless on this one here. I don't know if Blake thinks he's a boar or a barra, but I think either way, very, very good pig. Tag 11, Danner Livestock. Next in, we've got Weisinger. Nate will talk about his trio that he brought. But the first two in, we've got a crossbred Barrow, chromed up one there. He's got the blue tag. He'll be tag 75. Tag 38 is a yellow tag. That's a belted crossbred gilt here. Again, we've got Weisinger here, tag 75 and tag 38.
All right, well, I turned the mic on correctly this time, so I'm getting better as we keep coming to this sale, and I appreciate it, Troy. With that said here, first off, we'll talk about my yellow tag gilt here. Will be tag 38. That'd be the worldwide TOU. I don't know if many of you guys have had many worldwides on feed. We've only had 3-4 litters for the past year, I guess, of them. But I know one thing, they have fed for our customers and have done very well and extremely high on the worldwide pedigrees. Then with that said, the other barrel, the chromed up barrel, would be the tag 75. He'd be the unrivaled, quite frankly. I've got 3 of these 136 liter sows, and they have all done very, very well for numerous different families between all 3 of them sows. Again, I brought 3 very good pigs here, and take a look, give me a call. I like them quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure, and we're going to see a couple more of the worldwides. I think actually a litter mate to this gilt comes next as the leadoff, and again, I've thought the worldwides, like you just said, it's got the ability to feed and stay good. Where obviously in the show pig world, that's pretty valuable. This one's again muscle texture, body shape, balance is just awesome, and really really good in terms of structure. The unrivaled pig there, we talked about Culture Shock might be the premier sire of this sale, but I'm going to tell you, if we just check the spring as a whole, Unrivaled is going to be way on up there. A lot of the high sellers, a lot of the popular pigs, the ones that guys have called and said, hey, there's been an awesome set of them. I think this pig represents that sire group, and obviously I have a really good sow there. Body shape, density, one of those that gives you a bulky look, but still's got a nice presence about him there for sure. That's going to be tag 75. The gilt there is tag 38. Next in, as we just referenced there, would be Weisinger's leadoff. That's going to be tag 6. He's actually a litter mate to that gilt that we just saw.
All right, here we go here. With that said there, this would be, again, my leadoff, tag 6. This would be the worldwide TOU. This guy here has always been kind of a standout, I'll just tell you. Probably, honestly, I've sold quite a few pigs this season. This is one of my favorite ones, actually, we probably put out this season. Of course, ideally for my situation, I really wish he'd have been about a December 1 born, but sometimes in life, that's what you get. I guess I should have said this on the TOU side. A lot of guys don't know much about that boar. That'd be a boar that we would have purchased as a high seller at the NSR deal a couple years ago. That would have been a tricked out never before, raised by Riggs and Thurston. And that sow line, if anybody remembers him, that sow would have raised the blue gilt Rotoballs had. She had a heck of a litter of tricked outs down south, so I bought the boar for $20,000, $30,000 if I remember right. Kept quite a few daughters back. This sow would have been 4th overall at Exarban. This is only her 2nd litter. I will say last go round she was actually bred to Woke, and I know a lot of guys don't do this, but we actually kept the entire litter back just because sometimes I like trial and errors of just seeing how hogs feed and do. And they were supposed to also be my expo barrels, but then winter came. They probably got way too big for me. I kept the gilts of them older ones. The barrels looked awesome, but I just ain't going to be able to hold them for the pork expo on that other group. So this will be your 2nd litter of the worldwides. Again, I love worldwide, and I think this one's pretty special for me.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, last night, just the quick run through in the pins before we even kicked anything out. This is the first pig I wrote down and circled there. Tag 6 there, Weisinger's. Definitely a sell highlight, one that got plenty of stars for me, and will continue that way. Hampshire classifying, if we go that way in the Southwest, if we think about a boar side of things, I guess we could too. Obviously, I have a very, very good sow there as well. Absolutely love the size that he is, the maturity pattern that he is, and the ability to do a lot of really, really good things. Again, tag 6. That's the last one there from Weisinger. Next in, we'll have Boyson, K. Boyson show pigs there. We brought 4 of them. The first pair will include the leadoff. That would be tag 8 from Boyson. That's going to be the thin-belted gilt there. She's got an orange tag 8. The blue gilt here will be tag 40. Again, we're here at Boyson's.
Thanks, Kilton, and thanks again to the Sloan crew for having us. I know it takes a lot to put on a sale like this, and it takes a lot of money and time and stress on their minds and people to put all this together, so I really appreciate it. This is our first time here in the spring top shelf, and we bring some that I like quite a bit. The belted gilt that Cade's on here will be our leadoff. She's a Clarity money line tricked out. The sow would have came from Schweck Dog up there in Canada. Them sows have always done an awesome job for us. This litter was incredible. Her mother's awesome. This is just her first litter. She did awesome. This gilt had a litter mate sister that sold online for a good chunk of change. Clarity is a woke boar there at Beeman's that we've actually reached back after this litter and used quite a bit because we just think the density and look and skeleton's all there. So like that gilt quite a bit. The blue gilt is a For the Glory, and then she'd be a pace car on the bottom side. Her mom would be a litter mate to the Reserve D5 there at Expo this year. So very deep litter. Litter sold incredible online. I like that gilt a lot. Just skinny, green built. She'll come with everything that she needs to.
Yeah, for sure. The first pair here are gilts. Obviously, we've talked about those. I think both of these make great show gilts. Obviously, awesome litters there, particularly on the blue one. I watched those online there. They did sell incredibly well. High enough I didn't get to buy either one of them, but I think my sis bought one of them. But it was an awesome litter, and obviously that just gives us some confidence and ability to kind of dig in. And that blue litter, that blue gilt came out of just a phenomenally good litter, and one that definitely going to keep watching. This belted gilt hit me awesome there last night. Again, those have the ability to get their head up and actually raise through the foreport of their skeleton up off the ground and give you that kind of presence where they truly do run uphill, but then have running gear behind like that one. A really, really good lead off there. Again, that's tag 8. The blue gilt's tag 40. Next pair that Kel brings in will be a pair of males. We've got a Berkshire male. Obviously, they've done a phenomenal job there in that arena there, and I think this male pig, it definitely exemplifies what their program has done there. He's going to be tag 77. The Calico crossbred male pig here. He's got a red tag. I guess we wouldn't need any more identification there, but Calico tag 92 is his number.
Yes, sir. Like Kelton said, we've been very fortunate in the Berkshire ring, and we've stayed true to our genetics and stayed true to that whole top shelf line, and we think this barrow represents that very well. His look, his design, build. That thing's got some shag on his ears. He's going to come with a lot of hair. His mother, this would just be her first litter, so she had an awesome litter. I think she had 13 pigs and sold every pig online and kept this one back for top shelf. I do think this pig fits that southern market, the fall market, very, very well. The thing's going to stay awesome looking. He's not going to look like a Berkshire up through his front 1/3. And then on his pedigree side, his grandma would actually be a litter mate to the champion Burke Barrow there a few years ago that Scott Smith had at the State Fair of Texas. So very good pedigree there on that Berkshire male pig. I think that thing's going to be crossbred looking long term. But does come with a purebred paper. The Calico pig there, he would be a Outlaw, All Mine, Rusty Cage. So Outlaw would be the burning boar there at Crossroads. This pig's mom would have raised the champion Hamp at Angelo 2 years ago, I believe. She's an awesome sow. She would have raised a division winner there at the Iowa State Fair last year. She would have also came from Schwecke there as a show gilt, and she's had, I believe, 3 litters. Every litter's had a winner out of it, and I don't see any issue with this particular male as well. Obviously, he's Calico, but just density of feature. If you like hair, he's got all the hair in the world. And he's going to come with that extra look and build that you need. So good pair here. Again, thanks to the Top Shelf crew for having us.
Well, thank you, Cal. Again, awesome pair of males here. There, the Berkshire. Again, like he said, I think it looks like Berks need to from just a skeletal aspect at this particular stage, and they've done such an awesome job in that ring. I know he's really proud of that one. He's tagged 77. Had 2 people text me. Obviously, we want them to be stout. We want them to be big bone. And one of the texts last night said, "What is the biggest bone pig there at Top Shelf?" And this was the pig I said. Those are some ginormous legs, a great big forearm. And still a very good pig at that there. The Calico is tag 92. Next in, we've got Swallow Farms. My buddy Gabe here brought a pair of them. We'll start there. We may run them together. I'm not sure. The boar pig. That'd be good. Yep, we'll go single. That would be perfect. The single boar pig here, we've got Swallow. This one will be tag 17. Again, we talked about unrivaled. There, obviously, this is going to be a pair of unrivaled from the source themselves. So we'll let Gabe talk about his lead-off tag 17 belted male pig.
Well, thank you, Kelton, and good morning, everyone. Thanks, Team Sloan, and the rest of the crew for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here, of course. This will be Swallow Farms' first of 2 consignments. Tag 17, he'd be an unrivaled. Money's on. Grandmother would be, go back to our Here I Am, all our good Here I Am stuff, sow lines. Again, unrivaled, money's on, Here I Am.
I didn't expect Gabe to talk real long, and he was did exactly like I expected. Just pedigree and go, let the pigs speak for themselves. But awesome program, obviously, both on the breeding side there as well, and producing sires that have gone on and worked for people. Obviously, raised unrivaled, and this pig I think exemplifies a lot of the modern day things there that Gabe and Kenneth and the crew have always tried to do, and yet still rooted in what Swallow's known for in terms of look and shape and being extra stout. This is one thick-haired kind of individual here that still just gives you an awesome look ahead of his shoulder. Again, everybody can use them. Obviously, the barrows that win shows you know, people think you're crazy for cutting them, but that's what it takes to win major shows or major events and major barrow shows there. And then at the same time, it takes ones like this to carry on that next generation, and obviously what Swallow's known for on the boar side of things there. So what I'm getting at, a lot of words there. This one looks, heck, to me, he's got boar quality for sure. And then obviously if we want to win a barrow show, that's your prerogative there. But again, this is the lead off, Swallow Farms, tag 17. Next in, we've got a gilt there, and any kind of pedigree junkies, I'd say definitely listen to Gabe and kind of read there and kind of see where we're at here on the gilt. But she's tagged 49. Again, we're still on Swallow Farms.
Yes, this will be our second and final consignment. Excuse me. She's also an unrivaled. Money's on mother as well. But she actually goes back. Grandmother would be my intentions, and would actually be unrivaled's mom. So unrivaled, money's on, back on unrivaled's mom. Honestly, really didn't want to sell her. I know she doesn't look the greatest. She's actually not eaten or drank one drop of water or feed since she's been here. But anyway, I think is good a female as we brought out here in recent past. And obviously, if you like that pedigree and what our stuff does and represents, I mean, this is it. Like I said, I apologize. I wish she would look better. She doesn't. She's not cooperating, but one we're proud of. And again, thanks for having us, Kelton. Thanks for the kind words. And if you got any questions or want to visit, I'm always available in the back. Thanks.
Well, I do think an awesome female, phenomenally intriguing pedigree there for sure. And the one thing about Gabe, that we've been able to feed a bunch of them from him and consider him a great friend. And you know, you go, and what's so awesome there, they show those gilts at LSU or maybe those shows there through. It's one of the most impressive sow herds, and it's an interesting concept too. If you haven't talked to him or gone, you know, they select the ones they're going to put back in the sow herd, the ones they're going to build around, basically at fight and weight at market size, I guess you would say, there. And to me, it's just why those pigs have fed so good and work whenever it counts. And I think this gilt is one of those that does represent the program. He's apologizing for how she looks. I probably could have left that out, and we would have still thought she's an extremely high quality one that just needs to go ahead and get and flesh just a bit. Guarantee that this gilt definitely will do that for sure, and be one that'd be a lot of fun to show, but it'd be a phenomenal gilt to lay in the herd there. So again, Swallow Farms, tagged 49. It's his final consignment. We stay with the Cajuns here that come next. We've got a pair of them here from Fontenot Farms. I'm sure we'll have John to be able to discuss the pedigrees here. But again, Fontenot Farms, we've got a pair of them here. The orange tag is the little smaller one there that Yemi's on. Orange tag 13. The larger one here, Savannah's got be yellow tag 45, Fontenot Farms.
Thank you, Kelton. I'd like to thank Troy and the crew for having us here. Our leadoff is going to be this 8-8 tag 13's a power hour. Spread the word. That spread the word. Sal's done a good job for us. We were excited to be able to use power hour, and we had a few litters, so we brought up. We thought what was our best one here. This tag 45, the bigger male pig, is a Strangleholt. Colt napping. Those colt napping sows are just getting started for us. She'd have had a division winner there at LSU this last year, and a bear that was second in class there at Houston. So we think two nice pigs out of two nice sows. So we thank y'all for having us again.
Always excited to see what John brings in here, and they're one of the firms there. One of those things come to mind, and always whenever I think about Fontenot's is they're going to be stout and they're going to feed. And what's neat here is we bring a pair of them, a little difference in terms of sizes, very different in terms of pedigree, and yet still they look like they could almost be litter mates from a phenotype standpoint. The same look, the same blade shape, the turn to their forerib and consistency of body shape is exactly the same. They're shapely, but they have a feeding muscle texture about them. An awesome bend to their rear leg. Two pigs there that look like to me the feeders, kind of a dreams there, if you will. The smaller one is their lead off. That's the one Yemi's on. That's tag 13. The larger one there Savannah has is tag 45. Again, Fontenot Farms. I think outside of Missouri, we've got more consignments from Louisiana than any one spot. Our next breeder here is going to be Rutledge Reds. We got Beanie in here with a pair of them, a gilt and a boar pig here. Rutledge Reds, the boar pig will be their lead off. That's going to be tag 14. The gilt is tag 46.
Thank you, Kelton, and thank you, Troy, and Team Sloan for having us up here. Both of these will be, I got a male and female. Both of them will be sired out of Aftershock. The gilt here is a Aftershock on a Kaboom sow of ours, and the male pig will be Aftershock main character, 76 above all. The main character sow would have been shown by the players' crew down there, Riggett and McKinley and Collin. One of their families showed class winner at Fort Worth. It's also a litter mate too. Would have been a litter mate to Fireball that we had that sold to Top Cut. Thanks again for having us.
Again, I think a really good pair here. It's been fun to watch Rutledge, their development of their program, and kind of continues on quality there. And one thing about them is obviously from what Beanie said there, and if you have followed them, pigs that go on and perform. I think that's Barra, the one that they led off with, or the male pig there, in terms of just being very practical in his body length, being incredible in terms of his body depth and feeding ability there. His proportions are phenomenally good there, and still looks like one of those that'll be stout and powerful and dense. His joints are clean, and one of those, his front end's not nearly as twisted as most of them in this breed we have right now, for sure. The gilt there, he's always brought some nice ones here. We're actually going to see a red one from Sloan here in a little bit that's out of a gilt purchase out of this same ring there that Sloan made that went on and produced for him. It'd be neat to see that pig here in just a little bit. I think this gilt looks a lot like that one did in terms of shape and expression of their upper hip. Still really good bodied, and again will make a nice breeding female, but awesome red show gilt there from Rutledge Reds. She is tag 46. The lead off is tag 14. As we kind of transition, we'll get Troy up here. We'll move into the Sloan lots here. So we're about halfway through, if you will, if you're kind of following through there on the preview. But we'll run through each one of Sloan's as we kind of go, keep them in the same organized fashion. Again, tag number is what dictates sale order. The tag color is just for you to reference there online. And as we kind of move into here, I want to make sure and invite everybody to go back and watch this preview. If you can make it out at 3:30, again, we've got happy hour. 5 o'clock we'll have another preview, and that will go just a little bit more efficiently or a little bit quicker as we kind of go through there, but it will be broadcasted there on KV's Facebook page. Dinner's at 6:30. The sale is a live sale. Live bidding through cci.live will be available. It's at 7 o'clock. Again, as Will said earlier, if you need a transportation and get them anywhere, we can get that there. If you've got kind of somewhere that'd be odd there, make sure you line things with us. But we've got trailers going everywhere in the United States, but we'll need to know directly after the sale where these pigs are going to be headed, and make sure you get with those breeders or Troy or myself, and we'll get that lined out. So again, we start off here with Troy Sloan's or Team Sloan's consignments here. The first three in. The orange tag is the crossbred male pig. He is a crypt orchid. He's tag 25. The blue tag is tag 87. That's the gilt in the ring, and then the dot topped male pig there would be tag 54. He's got a yellow tag.
Well, thanks, Kelton, and thanks everybody for tuning in, whether you're here in person or came last night or just picking it up there on Facebook or whatever it may be. Appreciate everybody's interest. I think an awesome set of pigs, regardless of consignor, regardless of breed. 25 would be the orange tag, like Kelton alluded to. That's a no sweat. No sweat would have actually been lot one in this sale a year ago that I think brought 40 or 45,000 there that went to 66. And I know those early pigs, the reports have been very good. That'd be the first litter gilt. She'd be a litter mate to the Champion Division II Barra on the 4-H side there at Missouri State Fair a year ago. The blue tag is the traditionally belted gilt there that Savannah's working on. Didn't really know where to put her, honestly, if we're being honest, in terms of sale order. I think she has some really, really far-reaching pieces. If she does the right things, I think could be a dang good big one someday. And then the spotted topped pig, like Kelton alluded to there, is the lot 54 yellow tag pig. He is 124.10. This 124 litter, I think, is exceptionally good. Dog eat dog, wide awake. Mom would be a first litter gilt that would be a litter mate to the reserve middleweight gilt there at Tulsa last fall that goes back to some of our best stuff. So kind of just to walk you through some of this stuff, we'll kind of start on some of these smaller ones as we progress through the Team Sloan lots. They'll get just a bit bigger.
Yeah, and again, I'd encourage you to not only to kind of obviously take notes of individual pigs there, but we've got different litter mates sprinkled in. I think that 124 litter is going to be a highlight there, but that pig's a neat way to kick things off. Again, he was tagged 54. That's the one with the dot top. The gilt there in the ring definitely got a couple stars for me last night as we started off in the previews there. She's tagged 87. We're going to see a lot of really good gilts there from Sloan as we continue through. Tag 25 has got the orange tag. He is a Crypt Orchid thin belted male pig out of No Sweat, the boar that he sold out of this ring last year. Next trio that we have, tag 62, another one, crossbred male pig. He's got a dot there in his top there. He's got a red tag, 62. The wide belted one is a litter mate to him. He's got a green tag. That's going to be tag 58. And then the traditionally belted gilt there, she's got a white tag. She's 51.
Well, again, sometimes this can be repetitive and it gets a little long. I would encourage you guys to stay hooked up and stay focused if you can. I know, again, sometimes it's hard to do that, but we got a pair of mates here to my right, I guess, that Leo and Kate are on. Again, Unrivaled Claws Glory Days. That is another first litter gilt that would have actually been reserve overall at the Missouri State Fair last summer. She as well would be a litter mate to the boar that we would have sold Showtime sires they call Midnight Hammer, and I think that boar's done a good job. So Unrivaled Claws Glory Days. I know Hilty's hitting ringside, and I think he would agree. Them sows that go back to Glory Days or our Glory Days, which was the quite frankly Cinderella son that was at Platts there for a while. Man, they've done an incredible job. The gilt here, the lone gilt in this particular heat, is a Culture Shock, past the hat, no intro. She's out of the 118 litter. There's a couple of those in the sale that we'll see here in just a bit that I think are going to be very popular. That's one of my personal favorites of our offering from a gilt side of things. Her mom would have been a younger sow that had two pigs that we took to perfect timing last fall. I think they brought 45,000 and 50,000. One of those is Power Source there at Hoff-Schulte Genetics. So the gilt here is a Culture Shock on Power Source's mom.
Again, we've said it a couple different times, but as you kind of go through, I wouldn't question your judgment at all if one that's a little bit further down in the sale ends up being one of your highlights, because this 62 is definitely one of those for me. And the neat thing about coming to one of Team Sloan's events, and particularly the top shelf sale, this week he kind of continually gave me updates and said, hey, how many numbers are we going to have? And I don't remember what the exact numbers were, but what I am saying is the culling and the sifting has already been done by Troy and company here. Every time he texts, he said, well, we're down to this number, we're down to this number. This is the absolute cream of the crop, the top ones again, and sale order wasn't necessarily ranked. Again, in the ring right now, red tag 62, green tag is this smaller litter mate, that's tag 58, and then the gilt in the ring, she's got a white tag, but she is tag 51. Another trio comes from Team Sloan. We've got tag 20. He's going to have an orange tag. He's the traditional belted male pig here. He's got a litter mate gilt that's going to come in this group as well. She's got a blue tag, and she is tag 60. And then the yellow tag, he's got white back legs. He is tag 98.
Well, just from a logistics perspective, we'll start with the belted crip there that Leo has. That's the yellow tagged pig, like Kelton talked about. That would be yellow 98. He's got a white back leg. That is a culture shock meant to be, quite frankly. That particular sow is a first litter gilt as well. Littermate brother was very, very well received at the Nebraska State Fair and was champion there at that particular show last summer. And like I said, one of my favorites that we've ever raised. So that'd be a first litter gilt. That's a mate sister. A mate sister to the Grand Bear at Nebraska. These other two are 121 litter. That is Power Hour woke, quite frankly. So the mother of these two pigs here directly in front of the camera now would actually be Power Hour on Culture Shock's sister. So we had the opportunity to buy a couple of those back last summer after we sold them and realized we shouldn't have sold them and got them back. The mother of this one actually was the price gilt that would have won Springfield there in Springfield, Illinois last summer at that national show. She didn't have a ton of them. What I will tell you is that might have been I know everyone says this, but that might have been as most anticipated litter that we farrowed in this particular group. I'll let kind of Kelton tell you what he thinks of these 121s. I think they're awfully neat, and we're going to see a few more coming later.
Yeah, for sure. And again, those, as I said, when I get back to the hotel and remembering things, this tag 20 was way up there for me. And I don't know whether we've already kind of given the spiel between Barra. I think he's got both qualities there of a champion. Barra, I think this one could be a Boar prospect there as well. His length of body and extension relationship ahead of his blade is extremely unique there. I think he's got the right kind of a muscle pattern. He's definitely got the right body shape. And to me, that looks like a stout constructed one now and in the end. He's got great big square fat toes there as well. I absolutely love that pig. His littermate gilt there. I've always thought that Troy's kind of crazy in a lot of different ways, but for sure for selling gilts. And then we get this right here, this offering. There's quality all the way through. But again, Power Hour on Culture Shock's littermate sister. I think a really unique opportunity there for sure. The Crypt Orchid pig there, 98, white back-legged one there. He's out of Culture Shock himself. And there, I think one of those that looks like will definitely feed, always be stout, always be powerful, and still got that kind of signature Sloan presence. Again, 98 was him. The Boar pig there, the traditionally belted one, tag 20. The littermate gilt's tag 60. As Troy said there, though, we just landed on those two 121 litters. We've got another mate coming in this next pair here. He's going to be tag 19. The Calico is tag 53.
Well, yeah, I already gave the sales pitch, I guess, on the 121s. You guys buy them how you like them. I know me, Trenton, and Leo went back and forth and really didn't know sale order and still probably didn't get it right. What I will tell you, I don't think it matters where they're at in the sale, whether they're ours or they're somebody else's. You guys buy them how you like them. I like this 19, though, a great deal. Again, another 121. He's a Power Hour woke, quite frankly. That'd be Culture Shock's sister. The Calico pig out here is tag 53, blue tag. He is a 133. We're going to see several of these 133s. That is a Power Hour tricked 4 past the hat. That past the hat sow is the past the hat Charlene, the sow there that won San Antonio a few years ago when I judged and had the opportunity to buy her. We could go on and on what that sow's done. She's been absolutely incredible for us. And again, another first litter gilt. We farrowed a bunch of them in this group. Littermate's sister would have been Grand Cross gilt there at the Kansas State Fair last summer. There was 2 or 3 of those other Barras in Nebraska and Iowa. I believe that Dangsher won some shows and jackpots and went on to make good big ones as well. So again, it sounds repetitive. I think this pair is really neat, though.
Yeah, for sure, and I think we were already, just in the short time we've been here, debated which ones of the 121s we liked. Troy's been pretty committed. This is the one that he liked. I think we'd all argue some there, but you probably just can't go wrong. That's a really good pick there. The Calico is one of those that hit me. I leaned to Troy last night when this pick came out. I said, for the Power Hours I've seen there across the country, it seemed like we've got them a little bit more moderate in terms of length of body. In this particular set, he said, I'm able to breed the wildest of most extreme females that I've got to Power Hour, correct some things and get things together. And it looks like we got the best of both worlds here in the calico. He's incredible coming at you. Width between his eyes, his squareness, his sternum is phenomenal. At the top of his blade, he's just as wide. He is a short-backed one, but at the same time, he doesn't look like a quick pattern one. Those are the kind you can show a lot, you can show often, you can show for a long time, but I still wouldn't shy away from that one being a Dallas prospect, a Tulsa prospect, wherever you end up going, maybe just a shot earlier in the fall as well. That calico's real high on my list. 53, we know Troy's thoughts on 19 is the belted male. Switch gears and get into some breed pigs here from Sloan right here, midway of their lots. The spot boar pig here is going to be tag 56. Litter mate spot gilt is tag 57. And then the Duroc male, we've kind of already alluded to him once, but the Duroc male pig is tag 55.
Yeah, like Kelton said, flip the script just a little bit and get on some of these pures. And I know at our place, sometimes it's hard to look at these pures against crosses, and that doesn't necessarily mean we don't like them. Sometimes they're just a little different from a maturity pattern perspective and kind of where they fit from a bulk and just a maturity aspect. But the pair of spots that I think are dang sure very nice, or at least I hope they're well received. We've been high on this pair for quite some time, I guess. They're Mr. Irrelevant, which that boar has done just an absolute incredible job. And then again, I have a first litter gilt that would be a mate sister to the Dreyer gilt that would have won the spots at Expo and then won the spots at Springfield and actually was reserved supreme at the Springfield, that junior national out there. So from a pedigree perspective, these spots are about as good as we can offer. Duroc is the only Duroc that we're going to offer. That's the first litter of Durocs that we've ever farrowed here. Take that for what it's worth. But a gilt that we would have actually bought from Beanie that would have originated from our good buddy there in Illinois. That particular Duroc is an all-the-way sword fight waymaker. Again, I'm not a Duroc expert. I think this pig could be very, very good someday.
I definitely agree with that, and that's kind of why I kind of went ahead and referenced him earlier when Rutledge has had their pair in here of gilt there that originated from Beanie, sold through this ring. I remember it really well, and this one has that same look and shape that one did, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to be offensive there about front ends being twisted in that breed, but facts are facts. They are, and this one's just not. He's just so good up through his front skeleton and still link the body's right. He's tall shoulder, neat presence. I think he's got the right kind of footwork and joint work there to be one that feeds extremely good. He's way, way high on my list. I didn't expect to have a Duroc from Team Sloan even offered, but for sure I starred as many times as I did that pig. Again, I have no idea what baby spots need to look like. If I was going to show spots, I'd buy them from Troy, and I'd probably hope they were out of Mr. Irrelevant too from what that track record has been. So the gilt there, spot gilt is 57, the spot male pig is 56, the Duroc is 55. Come back to some crossbreds here. We've got a pair of them here. Tag 32. He's got an orange tag gilt. Excuse me, I didn't realize the pair of gilts here. 32 is orange tag. Tag 59 is the blue tag.
Yeah, we kind of get to rolling in on some of these cross gilts, and for those of you guys following along, you'll see several of these 128 litters, and like Kelton alluded to there earlier, we cull every day, and we cull hard, and when the dust settled, there were several of these 128s. Again, I alluded to it earlier and talked about it, but this Glory Days deal has just been absolutely incredible from a sow side of things, and again, I said it earlier, but I think Hilty would agree as well. Again, Glory Days was quite frankly Cinderella, and those sows are doing just an absolute incredible job. So again, a first litter gilt, I've said it a million times, but we farrowed a bunch of first litter gilts here in this particular set. This far and wide thing, I think we've probably had as many as anybody in the country, and I'm glad we have, and we're still using him. Some of our absolute best pigs have been far and wides. I think a pair of gilts here that could show for a long, long time, show next week, and still make good big ones. Some far reaching pieces, I think, on these 128s.
Yeah, last night as we kind of kicked through them, the one note I made off to the right of the page is take note of the 128s. There's 5 of them coming in the next 6 lots that we have there. Again, whenever you cull through things, I don't know how many show pig litters have 5 that need to get to a live pig sale, particularly as tough as Troy is on them. But this pair of gilts really exemplify, I think, their program, and then this litter there, short back, tall fronted, neat presence. Again, have that extra look and I guess that you always expect there from Sloan there, but at the same time, these are some dense skeleton ones. If you get in behind them, their consistency of bone work, bone column there from behind is very, very impressive there. Really neat pair. I have an awesome litter here. Good way to kick off and showcase those. Tag 32 is the orange tag. The blue tag is tag 59. Next pair, we've got another one of those 128s. This is going to be a boar pig here, traditionally belted boar pig. He's got a yellow tag. He's tag 86. Again, he's a mate to that last pair. The other one in wide belted male pig, red tag 99.
Well, again, a pair of 128s like Kelton just talked about, and excuse me, a 128, and then we've got a 121. I'm sorry. The 128 would be directly in front of me. That's the yellow tag boar pig there that Trenton is on. Again, another one I think you kind of slow roll him and just kind of let him be a pig for a bit, and that's where he's going to be the best. I think, again, these far and wides have been just exceptionally good. I think moving forward, that sow is going to be absolutely one of our best. We talked about the 121s earlier. Power Hour on Culture Shock's littermate sister that won Springfield. We like to kind of get creative sometimes on sale order. This 99 pig was just a little off a few days ago, if we're being honest. And if I'm just being even more honest, it was very hard for us not just to throw him in the back barn and just keep him. From a pedigree perspective, that looks like one that could breed sows here. At one time, right, wrong, indifferent, maybe I'm crazy, that was going to be our leadoff. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. So we went from leadoff to tag 99 and thought, let's just send it and see what happens.
Yeah, he asked me if he thought it was crazy. There, I've already said yes in lots of respects. And in this one, who cares? Because you get this pig again. Whenever I went in the Sloan wing, whenever we looked at those pigs there, he was up and at the feeder. The rest of the crew was kind of laying down. I noticed he had a shot knot on his neck there, and I was like, hey, all I wrote down was shot knot. This is pre-tagging there. I didn't even care or look at what litter he was. Ends up with 99, and I guess it's one of those things. This is going to be an awesome set of pigs there. There's a lot of opportunities to go through there. I would make sure and gather up whatever chips you had, but I wouldn't save my chips because he's going to bring just a little bit there, I think. But again, he's the last one in the cell. That's not trying to be cute. That's not trying to do anything there. Didn't know exactly where he goes. Like I said, I got a few texts this week. Troy, maybe Monday or Tuesday, or maybe this weekend, actually said, hey, our very best pig strepped, and of course he was down in the dumps. It looks like he bounced right back. So again, that's tag 99. He's another one of those 121 litters. We've seen those other pair that we liked so much earlier, and the other one here is a mate to those 2 gilts that we just talked about. Don't let that pig get overshadowed by any means. He's tag 86. Next pair, we're still on the 128 litter. Another pair of gilts here, tag 66. She's got a little white tip on her tail. She's got a green tag in her ear, tag 66. The other one's the more traditionally belted gilt there, white tag 28.
Well, again, we talked about the 128s earlier, but I think just a really, really good group of pigs, a good litter. The far and wide deal, again, has been exceptional. Glory Days sows have been awesome. I've talked more about the 128s than probably anybody wants to hear about. If anyone cares, and probably nobody does, and that's perfectly fine, in my personal opinion, this 28 might be the best gilt in our Sloan offering in the entire set. I think just absolutely incredible. Again, the far and wide thing, we've probably had more of them than anybody, and we're going to keep having more. I think her just maturity pattern and her ability to have some feature and yet her skeleton be so flawless is so good. One of my absolute favorites there in the white tag 28. The other gilt is no slouch. I'm not going to tell you she's in the same league as this one, but she is tag 66, green tag.
Yeah, again, as good as that 128 litter is, this tag 28, he talked about feature and look and presence. I'm going to ask you to get in front of that gilt. That is the biggest chest squarest sternum, and at the base of her cavity as you could probably ever put in one that stays good at their elbow and right up top. She is an absolutely incredible animal there in tag 28. Again, another really, really good mate. Have a really strong litter is the green tag 66. That's the chromed up gilt in the ring. Next, we've got a pair of 133 litters here that Troy will talk. The orange tag one is a belted male pig there, tag 21. Litter mate Calico, tag 33.
Well, we talked earlier, we had the little calico male pig that you like. These would be mates here. Again, first litter gilt, that was one of my absolute favorite that we farrowed in that particular group. And I think someone talked about it earlier, but looking at baby pigs on the sow sometimes is just absolutely stupid. It breaks your heart usually. What I will tell you is this is one of my favorite pigs on the sow that we've ever had. And again, take that for what it's worth, but he's a power hour, and Leo looked at me one night, I think it was like 2 in the morning, and we were trying to get him to nurse and stuff, and he said, "We're going to name this pig Breaker Box." And I said, "That's absolutely incredible." And then long story short, now he's a Crypt Orchid. So the board deal is probably off the table. I think he looks like an incredible show bearer, though. He is tag 21, orange tag. The gilt would be a litter mate. Like I said, first litter gilt that I know Kelton talked about it earlier, was as big boned, as wide, as short bodied, as exotic as maybe anything we farrowed. And we have had more power hours than probably anything that we've farrowed the last few groups. This one's mother, these two's mother, in my opinion, is absolutely perfect for power hour. So, sometimes it looks good on paper and the pigs just suck, and we go on and move on. It looked good on paper, and I think this 133 deal is going to be okay.
Yeah, I'd say for sure, and obviously we talked about the Calico brother there earlier, but this gilt was the first one of the females that I saw. Obviously, her color was noticeable there, but as square built as she is, and neat and cute headed, but still very, very stout. This Breaker Box, as we're calling him there, the belted one. Obviously, it's you get long hours there in the farrowing house, but you name the ones you like, and this one comes with a name there. He is a Crypt Orchid. You can see that testicle in his flank. That'll be an easy straight there for sure. But people want to talk about maybe the greener or more immature ones that you just want to be able to get after, and that one definitely looks like that. Skeletal quality looks like one you could just pour the colts to for sure, and kind of indicative of those power hours. Again, he is tag 21. The Calico gilt is tag 33. Next pair here, we've got another Calico gilt. She's going to be tag 96. The belted gilt there that comes in will be tag 63.
So again, kind of go back and forth on what we want to offer and how many gilts we want to offer, and honestly looked back at last year's sales sheet, and the gilts were very well received and sold well. So probably offering a few more gilts than maybe is popular this time of year, but they've been well received over the last few years, and I can tell you firsthand, the boys would agree. I'm sure we did not hold anything back. I mean, we want this event to be good. I think this is a pair of gilts that look like they can make good big ones, in my opinion. We'll see what Kelton says, but the Calico, the Calico is a 134, so that's power hour, quite frankly, back on Cinderella. So from a pedigree perspective, I don't know what more you could ask for. Again, power hour, quite frankly, Cinderella, and then the white tag 63 is the belted cross gilt. I think makes a good big one. She's obviously not as tricked out or as wild looking as some of them. She's another one of those foreign wides, granddaddies. We're going to see a few of those 136s. In my opinion, though, I think this one could make a real good big one if she does the right things.
Yeah, for sure, and again, as Troy kind of alludes to, you've got some of those that look like you could show them next week and prospect and get you a banner, and some of those that might sneak up on you and say, "Where has she been all summer?" And these are the gilts there that kind of look like that to me. They look like good big ones. They look like feeding kinds. It's not because they're big, long, and lanky. They just have the impression to me that at the end is where they're really going to kind of shine and come through there for sure. As he puts things together. together in the preview. They're back there in bigger pins, but they kind of come in like types, and even though these aren't the same color, they're very similar to each other in terms of just build and muscle quality and the way that they're put together there. Again, the Calico is going to be tagged 96. She's another Power Hour sired gilt there. The belted gilt is tagged 63. We've got a pair of all-access sired gilts here. They're 137s that Troy will talk about. I say gilts. There's actually a boar pig. The chromed-up pig here is a boar pig there. He's going to have a yellow tag. He's tagged 95. The littermate gilt, belted crossbred gilt, is tagged 61.
Well, again, sounds like a broken record, but ferret a bunch of gilts in this group, and again, these would be out of a first litter gilt. Wake up call, no intro. That no intro line was very, very good for us over the years. This one's the grandmother of these, would actually been a sale highlight in our past sow sale that the True Crew would have bought. Again, some of this can get overwhelming, and I know get drowned in details, but the no intro, we had 3 of those sows, and man, they all 3 did an absolutely incredible job. So again, a first litter gilt here, doesn't have a big story, but was very competitive on the Missouri jackpot circuit last year. Won a few banners here and there. I think a pair here that can make good big ones, in my opinion.
Yeah, this gilt is one of those that she came in or last night or got kicked out in the alleyway. I wrote again, wild looking here. I don't know for sure if you could ever have one that would tie any higher in terms of her neck set, and one of those that actually reaches her front end outside of her blade as she kind of goes across the surface there. She's always going to have a wild look, and one of those that kind of knocks you back as she comes in the ring. Will have a memorable presence about her. But things come in proportions. That term gets thrown around a lot. That one's length of front end is only matched by the length of hip. You talk about from her stifle back, that is one of the longest hip ones in the offer, and probably as long as you could have in this particular this day and time there, but still her body cavity is big and round. That gilt's got a great future, and one of those again looks like in the end I think will be very, very good. Her mate brother I think is one of those that's later in the sale, but definitely doesn't need to be overshadowed there by the ones ahead of him there. The base of his cavity is absolutely phenomenal and still has that great look. He's tagged 95. The gilt there is tagged 61. We're going to pull into the Chester set of them now here, and they're all in one pen. We'll bring them in 2 groups here in the preview there. But the first pair here, we've got the Barrow. He is castrated. The male pig here is tagged 65. The little gilt there is tagged 30.
Yeah, like Kelton said, Chester's Barra, he's cut, he's ready to roll. He was actually a rupture. We got that fixed. That's been over a month ago. He's healed up, ready to go. Pitmaster WD-40 Boomtown. His littermate or his mom would actually be a littermate sister to Slip and Slide, the boar that we sold Laird's there last summer. The gilt out here, I think, is just absolutely really neat. I guess for lack of better terms, she's a double dipping. Double dipping was the boar that we bought from Danner's there last spring, and then ended up actually selling them to Laird's later in the summer. Mom is a Crown Prince, Captain Obvious, and her mom would have been 4th overall breeding gilt there at the Nebraska State Fair last summer, and won. Again, like I said earlier, we sell some gilts sometimes, and then wish we wouldn't have. That's another prime example of that. Sold that gilt, she got along, turned out, made a good big one. Had the opportunity to buy her back, and didn't think twice about that. So a neat pair here, I think, that definitely have some bells and whistles for this breed.
Yeah, I'd say this breed or any breed there, if you go across the pen or if you're able to if you're in attendance and able to go back there, this is one of the neatest pens and the highest quality set of Chesters you could probably ever see. Like I say, this gilt, neat's the word that came to mind to Troy. It kind of was me too. You're going to think she's pretty neat when you see this littermate sister there in just a second there. Barra's about as big backed and rolled up top as anything in the group, regardless of breed there. Neat, and again, in terms of length of body and still having that high quality look ahead of his shoulder there. Probably take him slow and keep things together there, but a really high quality Chester Barrow. He's tagged 65. The little neat gilt is tagged 30. We're going to stay with the Chesters there. The mate to that gilt that just left, her bigger sister here comes in, and she is tagged 29. Then we've got a boar pig here is going to be tagged 64, and then another gilt there, mate to that last barrow, will be tagged 84.
We can start with the male just to keep things simple. That's a 19 litter. That's a slip and slide. Again, that's the boar we would have sold Laird's last summer. His mom's a WD-40 custom made, would actually be a litter mate sister to Friction, the boar that Platt had there for several seasons. Did a really good job. The mother of that particular boar was out of that litter of the year, I guess, that they vote on it in the Pig Planet deal there online. So a sow line that's been just absolutely incredible for us. So that's the male pig. The gilt there that Trenton is on, I believe, get my facts right here. I believe she's the 24-3. That's a Pitmaster WD-40 Boomtown. So again, littermate sister there to slip and slide, and then the big not the big, I guess you call her the medium-sized gilt there that Kate is on is I'll kind of let Kelton tell you what he thinks of her. But I did text Kelton for what it was worth a couple days ago, and I said, what if we lead off with a Chester gilt? What could go wrong? We've been very, very fortunate and blessed, and maybe just dumb luck, but the Chester breed's been very good to us, and we've been, again, very fortunate to sell some very high-dollar ones that have gone on and had success. In my opinion, for what it's worth, and I know we're not maybe in prime time Chester gilt buying season, this 29 is as good as we've ever made, in my opinion.
No doubt, and you know, I figured she was pretty good when I got that text. As far as we may just go ahead and lead off with a Chester gilt. I think that might have even pre the pig strepping. So you know, there's always things that go through there. Obviously, you hear what Troy says there, and we're just kind of taking up airtime and be able to people to see this one. She is an absolutely phenomenal specimen for that breed, but more so just as a show gilt or as a potential sow. But she's one of those that looks like to me once you get to the Grand Drive might be pretty tough to turn there. And again, her little sister was the one that's going to sell right behind her there. That was in that last group. Again, you have one like that, and you sometimes don't maybe appreciate and study the other ones in the ring there. But we've got a tag 64 that again I think is a market-sized Chester show barrow that's going to have look. He's going to have shape. He's going to be square behind. He's not going to be coarse jointed, but he's going to be square and even toed down low, and going to be very, very tough. 84 might get outshone by the other ones there, but I think in terms of just a breeding gilt look, a soft body, soft pliable rib cage, the right kind of muscle texture, the right kind of length of body and length of hip, she'll always be very, very competitive as well. Again, that one was tag 84. The male pig is tag 64. The gilt there that Cade was showing is tag 29. I think that did it for the breed pigs here. We'll move back into some crossbreds. The mostly black one here, a white-footed one here is tag 97. The calico gilt will be tag 85.
Well, again, get into some of these maybe bigger pigs, for lack of better terms, or at least bigger of the Sloan offering. The 127-2 would be another no sweat, so he's a mate to the very first pig, I guess, or the first heat that Team Sloan would have had. Again, first litter gilt there, litter mate brother to her, would have won champion or Division II there at the Missouri State Fair on the 4-H side of things last summer. I think a sow that's going to do a good job moving forward. I didn't know where that pig fit, if I'm just being honest. Some probably love him, some probably hate him. I'll let you guys decide, but I think one of the neater, more different pigs, I guess, in our particular set. The calico gilt is another power hour. The other one, best kept secret. For those of you guys that have kind of followed our program, the other one was the boar that Winters had there in Oklahoma that was actually a litter mate to pass the hat. So it goes back to actually a Hilty bred that we would have bought a few years ago, and that sow did a very good job for us. So again, a pair that probably don't necessarily look like each other, but I think have some neat pieces for sure.
Yeah, that's 97, like I said, Troy said, a litter mate to that very first one, out of No Sweat there, and obviously No Sweat's there at 66, and I was able to see him several times there, and Evan brought him out each time, or as we kind of got on. That pig stayed good and continued to feed, and was one of those that would have made a very, very good barrow, but looked like a breeding boar. Looks like he's passing those same traits in terms of just general stoutness and bulk and density. Again, don't know where he fits. I don't know if he's everybody's kind. last night I wrote down Kansas City next to that one, and I think he could definitely fit. And again, not telling anybody what they need to do with them. That would fit a lot of variety of judges. But again, looks like a feeding kind for sure. Another calico gilt here that looks like a good big one, as he said, kind of looks like those power hours have there as we kind of go through. So again, the 97 is the male pig. The calico gilt is tag 85. Gilt and a male pig come in next. The gilt is going to be tag 52. The male pig has got a red tag. A crypt orchid male pig, tag 27.
Well, again, struggle with sale order. I know Kelton will be the first to tell you I'm not the best at lining them up. I don't know where this gilt fits. What I will tell you is she's always looked that way. She has always had giant legs, a big tail root, a big skull. She's always been very, very stout. Again, the first litter gilt there, won a few banners there on the Missouri circuit. Again, the far and wide thing, I know everybody's getting tired of me talking about it, but the far and wide pigs here have been just exceptionally good. That 136 litter, I think, has been fun from the start. Her mom, again, first litter gilt, granddaddy, glory days. I've talked a lot about the glory days and what I've thought of those. 117 pig is the one that Trenton is on there, the red tagged hog, tag 27. I think just a really good feeding, not going to get you in the ditch kind of hog. Again, another one, didn't really know where he fit in terms of sale order. You guys decide. I think that pig can make a real good big one. Again, the culture shock thing, I think, like Kelton has talked about, I think those pigs are going to be very, very good this summer.
Yeah, for sure, and you know this tag 27. He's got a little white mark on his neck, and obviously he's a crypt orchid. Last night I wrote down maybe a sleeper. After I talked to people around the barn, I don't think he slept much. I like that pig a bunch. I don't know. That one just gives me the impression of one that'll feed, one that'll be there in the end, and maybe that sounds like he's just kind of middle of the road. He's not that at all. If we called that our leadoff pig and said, hey, his look, presence, and feature allow him to be so, I don't think we'd argue there. I just really like that 27 for what he does right, and I think he'll definitely be one of those that's heard of. 52, when she first came in, she had her tail down. I was hoping that she'd crank it up because she does have a big old fat tail sitting on top of her hip, and one of those that looks like will be a memorable pig as she comes in. Her skeleton is so loose and so comfortable. I love her lower body shape, and her balance is very good. Proportionality is just absolutely on target, I think. So again, that's tag 52. If you don't get one of those earlier gilts, or you would decide this one is your favorite, I definitely wouldn't sleep there down in the cell. But 52 is the gilt, 27 is that chromed up male. Next pair, we've already talked about 124s, I think, a couple times as a cell highlight there. We may have one individual earlier, but we've got a pair of litter mates. They're very intriguing, and I think ones that definitely merited some extra studying last night. It'd be tag 22 is the chromed up one, the crinkle-eared, more traditionally Hampshire classifying one would be tag 24.
Well, again, try to cull and get down to just offering our best, and I'm not telling you they're all perfect, but we're proud of our set. We're proud of our pigs. What I will tell you is the 124s have been fun from the start, and we've went back and forth between me and our guys, and I think we've all got a different favorite. You guys ultimately decide which one you like the best, or for all I know, maybe none of them are any good, but the 124s have been fun, and we like them. Again, another first litter gilt. Mom would be a littermate sister, the reserve middle gilt, I believe, at Tulsa there last fall. I think moving forward is going to do an awesome job. Dog eat dog, wide awake, breaking rules 64-1. That breaking rules Sal would have been the Grand Cross gilt there at San Antonio a few years ago when I judged.
Well, we've talked a lot of different sire groups, but the dog eat dogs look like they're going to go ahead and breed through like he was in terms of just stoutness and arm size. I was able to go to Atchison's this last week where the boar originated and saw some of them out of the sisters, out of the grandmother, a lot of that same pedigree around, and every one of them was wide between their eyes. They were stout about their jaw, they were big in their arm, and they had the right kind of build to be good, big, stout ones there as well. Again, everybody's probably got their favorite one. That crinkle-eared one hit me hard for just as bulky and wide and powerful as he was. As we continued to study, as we said, we kicked this pair out actually another time. 22 maybe absolute one of the favorites in the cell, but on that litter, one that I definitely marked highly of. So again, 22 is the chromed up one. The belted one, there's tag 24. Got a trio coming in next. Again, we're going to have another 124-liter pig come in, and that happens to be the leadoff there from Team Sloan. Be the first pig in the ring tonight at Top Shelf. He's got obviously tag 1. The chromed up gilt there will be tag 31 with the yellow tag. The boar pig there, more traditionally a belted one, red tag, tag 69.
Well, the big pig there on the end, again, that's the red tagged hog. Just a solid, good feeding pig, I think. That 119 liter, that's out of a very good sow. It'd actually be the same sow as on tap that we would have sold here a year ago. That I think brought like 40 or 45,000 that Crossroads bought. That's the kind of more traditionally belted pig, like Hilton said, that Leo is on. The gilt, the yellow tag there is one that I think has always stuck out to me to make a good big one. I'm not saying she's a dumpy, tricky, tricked out, wide, messed up one. In my opinion, though, if you're in games, the most important, I should say, to make a big one, I think that tag 31 could be awfully good. Again, far and wide, Granddaddy. Granddaddy was the Trick Daddy son that we would have sold Moyers there a couple seasons ago. Mom, I think, moving forward is going to be very, very good. And then obviously lot 1 there that Trenton is on is one we've been high on, I guess, from the start. You guys pick out the 124s like you like them and buy the one you like the best, I guess. We thought this one was probably just the farthest reaching of the 124s. Again, dog eat dog, wide awake, back on that San Antonio sow.
For sure, and again, I'll echo what Troy said there in terms of just extremities. There, he's probably the furthest reaching of that 124, maybe any of the offerings. I think one of the things that is absolutely remarkable for one that's got that neat and tidy of a throat latch and that awesome of a head carriage to open up with that kind of rib shape, and those are some monstrous pin and upper hip shape that one has there, and still he's a green immature kind of a pig there. We've already said it once, and I always get fumbled up in terms of words. I'm never really good at organizing that kind of things there. It takes pigs like that to win major barrow shows that people think you were absolutely crazy to castrate that one. What would he have been worth as a male? That's what it takes to win on that kind of a stage there. And at the same time, whenever you get a run of boar outs, you'd say that one could have won any barrow show in the country. That's the way this one looks like to me. Neat color to boot, but more importantly, very, very, very high quality lead off there. The big belted pig there in the ring, tag 69, like Troy said, you don't get in the ditch. His rape shape's right, his muscle texture's right, he's smooth patterned, he's level designed, proportionality is right there. Just one of those that's always going to be around and looks like could be a very good big one. Be glad to have him on feed as things kind of fall apart there. And again, 31, the gilt, another good big one. A raw shape up top is incredibly good there. It looks like one of those you can kind of pour it to. She is tag 31. I already said 169 is the belted one. Next pair, we're on our final half dozen there from Sloan. The next pair that comes in will be a belted male pig. He's got an orange tag. He's tag 83. Crypt Orchid, mostly black. A male pig there would be tag 68.
Again, a pair of male pigs here from Sloan as we continue to roll through these. Just got a few left. But again, the belted one is a crossbore tag or ear notch 119. I talked earlier about the 119s. That mom would actually made on tap the boar there at Crossroads that's doing a good job that would have actually sold through this ring just a year ago, I think for 40 or 45,000, something like that. The other pig out here is a 118. So that would be a culture shock, past the hat, no intro. I talked earlier about it, but the mother of the 118s is also the mother of the two pigs that we took to Perfect Timing last year that I think brought 45,000 and 50,000 a piece, something like that. One of those went on to be named Power Source there at Hofschulte Genetics. So a pair of male pigs here probably differ just a bit in terms of type and kind and how they need to be fed. I'll let Kelton kind of tell you his opinion on this pair.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I thought this was a pair of those that, again, we just put them together to kind of keep them identified and be able to, this preview here is obviously catered to the guys online and watching there. And if you can't tell, this belted one I put him down as a little bit smaller one. Just needs to be taken just a shot slower. And he looks like those that modern day show pig in terms of just skeletal stoutness, length of body, and squareness there. Got a great, great big rear leg. And one of those that'll always be out. Again, take him at a more moderate pace. This other one looks like if you need to show a little earlier in the fall, that you could definitely do so. I've had a couple guys call about New Mexico, or a couple guys that said which ones could be big ones to come Dallas, Tulsa time, and he gives me that impression for sure. Height, the front end, and extension there. His proportions are still right. He's not extra long bodies, but he's got that extra extension to allow him to be able to be fed a little bit harder, and still one of those that gives you a good look and got a great shape up top. He's another 118, another one out of Culture Shock, the board that's done so good, and obviously we've seen a lot out of him tonight or this morning here. 68 was his tag. The smaller full belted one here is tag 83. Another pair here, and I wrote a couple exclamation marks against this gilt. She's a 124 litter gilt there, and she's going to be tag 70. The boar pig here is tag 26.
Well, again, we've talked until everybody's probably tired of us talking about the 124 litter, but I believe this was the only 124 litter gilt in that particular litter. And man, I said, guys, we got to offer some. We need to offer, because I think the males are very, very good, and I still think this gilt represents quality. You guys figure out where she fits in the mix, but comes from an incredible litter, in my opinion, in those dog-eat-dog 124 litters. Again, that's the gilt out here. She's the 124.5. She's the yellow tag 70. The belted male pig out here is a 126 litter, all access. I think just one of the better good feeding pigs. It looks like he make a good big one, in my opinion. Again, another pig there. I didn't know exactly where he fit in the sale order. Could have been higher, could have been lower. I'll let you guys decide, but I think his build, balance, and just his feeding look with some skull and a big tail root are awfully hard to ignore, in my opinion. The wake-up call deal, I know everybody had their opinion on those. The wake-up call sows here and the meant-to-be sows are doing an incredible job. Again, I think one of the better good feeding pigs in our particular set.
Yeah, I said I wrote exclamation marks here, but if that gilt tag 70 out of the 124 litter doesn't prove that Troy and his family and crew here make sure and put the absolute best, and like he said, don't hold anything back, then I don't know what else could prove, or you're maybe just being hard-headed. That's an awesome gilt from a quality standpoint. Obviously, phenomenal litter there. Again, this male pig that's in the ring, tag 26, is another one there that looks like a good big one, looks like would feed extremely good. Probably on camera, I would assume his outline looks like a bigger, maybe more immature one. You dip into him and actually study him at the ground. He's got great big feet. He comes at you wide. He's got a thick arm, and like Troy said, a big old tail root. His indicators look like a big stout one to me. Again, that's tag 26. The gilt's tag 70. Last pair here that we have from Team Sloan, and I think fitting, we end with a pair of Culture Shocks there, and the boar pig, thin belted boar pig, is going to be tag 23. The green tag, traditionally belted male, will be tag 67.
Well, for sure, and again, appreciate everybody being here as we kind of round out the Sloan lots. I know, again, sometimes this can be a little overwhelming and hard to stay hooked up and stay focused, but I think it's a good set of pigs regardless of consignor. The traditionally belted crossbore has always been one of my personal favorites, or excuse me, the one that Trenton is on, I'm getting my numbers mixed up, the thinner belted 118 litter hog. Again, Culture Shock, like Kelton talked about, on Power Source's mom, the boar there at Hofschulte's that we would have sold at perfect timing. Again, you guys decide where he fits. Struggle a little bit with sale order. I think you can make the argument, if you wanted to, of the Sloan offering, that pig may be as just solid as any of them. No holes and still has some extras. Again, a pig that's looked good from the start. The other pig's a 120. He's another Culture Shock. Mom would have originated from Schwecke, actually, and goes back to some of our stuff. That sow's done a very good job. So Culture Shock meant to be, play to win, so has some, quite frankly, and some neat stuff back in there, wide awake and all that good stuff that's done such a good job over the years. But again, appreciate everybody coming, appreciate Kelton and the job he does. I know sometimes it's not the easiest. I've been in his shoes, and you got to stay hooked up and stay focused. But a nice pair here. Again, appreciate everybody coming.
Like I said, we kind of go through several of Sloan's lots here, but the sifting and sorting's already been done. We started with a big number, or they did. Glad I wasn't taxed with that duty of getting the final group to come in the cell, but they want to make sure cell numbers stay reasonable, cell numbers stay right, and still offer their absolute very best. We may end on one of my absolute favorite ones from a Barbera perspective, this thin-belted one here. Again, Troy's already described him, but that one's got a bunch of stars for me, and he's got a really neat color pattern. I don't know, I wrote color plus on that one, and I think he'll be very good. Again, 67 is one of those. If he comes down the alleyway, judges standing in the front of him, he's already going to have the impression that one's going to get to the pin. Big chest, big square, and bold blade working in him. He's wide between his eyes. His body shape is right. To me, he looks like one that always surfaces at the top of the class, no matter who's judging there, and then probably from just a comfort level standpoint stays at the very top. So again, these are the final two. That green tag one is tag 67. The thin belted one is tag 23. We'll move into some of the consigners there as we go. We've got HF Genetics. Cassidy Hayes will come up and talk about the set that he brought. The first pair that entered the ring here, a pair of boar pigs, crossbred male pigs here. Pretty neat pair that we have to work with. We've got a solid white boar pig here. He's going to be their lead off, and that's going to be tag 10. And then the blue male here will be tag 42.
Well, thank you, Kelton. Thank you, Troy, as well, for having us. Always look forward to this deal every year, and we're probably a little different than some on this age group. We actually fair quite a few litters this time of year because of the Texas counties in Dallas and Tulsa and things of that nature in our part of the world. And at the same time, we always try to grab a couple of our top enders there to lead this deal off with. This pair of blue and a white one here were a couple that hit us really good when we set them into the chip barn, and don't usually make it a priority to start with a solid white one, but at the same time, that breed has probably been as good for us this season as anything, with some highlights there, winning the grandstand and winning the Yorks at LSU as well. This pig ties into that same sow family. He'll be our leadoff, tag number 10. He's started by White Flag. Mom is a Bearcat Wham. The grandmother would be that Lindner sow that just had the grand at the grandstand and second behind the champion York there at Austin. This was an awesome litter. He had a brother that sold awesome at our farm sale last Friday. At the same time, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I like that one better. This was my personal favorite. Wanted to bring him here and kind of let him represent our white program, and genetically that one should stay white pretty handedly. Tag 42 is the blue. Sired by Mainline there at Halfins. Mother is a Wham, Poke the Bear. That sow would have been one that Dustin Ham's group had there in Arkansas that won the Yorks at Arkansas State Fair. She was third overall at Mississippi Youth Expo. She just had Ham's Cruise gilt that brought $25,000 at OYE in the light cross division as well. So out of some of our power sows in our white program here, really excited about this pair and what they could do down the road.
Definitely a really good pair, as we said there. And if you've watched and kind of followed the white ones there at HF, this one right here, I think definitely exemplifies the program, what they've been trying to do, and why they've been so successful. There was even some board talk about him last night, and I think rightfully so. This white deal right now, I hate to say wide open because everything's tough and hard, but it's really difficult to find ones that have this kind of body shape, this kind of bone work, that aren't messed up at the surface. He's still propped up and good and strong at his feet, and still at the same time has push and give there behind. I think that pig's really neat, whether you're talking about a boar or talking about a barrow there that'll stay white. Looks like one of the easier banner hangers that you could probably ever have there wherever your final destination is. The blue one, obviously out of Mainline, that sounding cliche, needs no introduction there, and what he's already done and what he continues to do, both pig sales but also making champion barrows there. But I've made the comment about one earlier, but this one may be as chubby and soft-middled, maybe as dense and bulky of any of the main lines I've ever seen there, but still with that stout noggin that he has, it ties way up high on his shoulder. He just looks like one of those would be a great feeding one, and I don't care at all, and obviously it proved it this winter, if you've got a blue division or not, ones like that are going to be competitive in the crossbred deal, regardless where we're at on color. That may be as loose of a skeleton one that we've seen all the morning here. That one is going to be tag 42. The white one is tag 10. Okay, we've got another pair here from HF. We've got a Berkshire gilt here, would be tag 94, and the Berkshire male is tag 79.
Well, our Berkshire deal's been very good and a big part of what we do the last several years. And actually, I was thinking on the way up here, I think we bought Berks 3 years in a row, and we've been very blessed. I think the Berks we brought here, we've gotten a piece of the Berks at 4 different state fairs the last couple of years throughout the South. And it's always a challenge. I struggle with it personally, and I'm probably as used to looking at these every day as anybody around ringside. But when you throw these Berks in next to crosses of this level, to me, it's always a challenge. They never look as bloomy. They never look as stout. But I'll tell you this breed's been as good to us as far as their progression and how they feed and how they mature in terms of their density. And I think this pair represents the build we try to put into them and the sow families that have worked the best for us. Tag number 79's the Barra there. He is castrated. He's a breaking barriers, and his mother was actually the grand overall at the Texas National 2 times ago for Talon Luke. That particular sow is just getting going for us, but she's kind of one of the outliers in that breed on our side of things, is being a little barrower, a little more barrowy built, boxier, chunkier, stouter deal. I think this pig, just in terms of the way he reads from a skeleton standpoint, is probably as good as we put together here this time and maybe over the past 12 months. That one looks like he's going to feed and get better every day, and based off pedigree, should do the same there. Tag number 94 is going to be our last rounder, the gilt we have here. In total transparency, when we unloaded her the other day here at Sloan, she was a little bit 3-legged, got a little banged up on the trailer ride. We've done some doctoring, I think, kind of got her back collected again there. That's a breaking barriers, top it off. Probably the coolest thing about her is she's out of the same sow as Top Flight that we had stand at Laird's. That sow had a class winner for Karis Downs there at San Antonio in the Barras last year. Also, the 4th overall Burke at San Antonio for Cody Kelso was out of that sow. She just generates. They feed. They get better with time. I thought she was a highlight of our Berkshire Gilt group that we had this go around, and wanted to bring her here to Top Shelf.
The Burks there at HF has obviously made a name for themselves as a program, and I can echo exactly what Cassidy says. They've been able to go to the farm a couple times and see them. Their sell time, actually, and I guess kind of telling on myself, I judged one of the early prospect shows a couple years ago in Beta Gilt that they raised, and I called her just not quite stout enough. And then about a month later, I don't think she was beat from that point on, and he told me that she'll be plenty stout. She's just got to come to it, and he was exactly right. And I'm not saying that these aren't. I can just echo what he says. They continue to feed. They continue to get better, and this pair is really, really good. If you go back there to that Luke gilt that won Texas National, that goes back to this tag 79 male pig. She was a very, very good gilt there, and was so competitive, obviously, against all breeds there. Gilt looks like, again, one of those show gilt, breeding female, whichever destination you want. She's tag 94. The male pig is tag 79. We're on our final jaunt there of consignment lots here, and we'll kind of get through these. But the next consigner up, we've got a trio here from Schwecke Genetics here. The first pair that he brings in is a pair of gilts. The crossbred gilt is tag 39. The spotted female is tag 76.
The crossbred gilt here, 39, that's a 33 litter. That'd be an all access, all mine back on a rusty cage. We would have sold those litter mates here in the last sale that were very good. A little bit smaller one, but I think that all mine stuff, the female side of things, has been very good. He was a My Intention Pawn Star boar. And then obviously all access, those have been very, very popular. The spot there is Relevant, back on a Mystery Relevant. Relevant's the spot board we have at home. Would be a Mystery Relevant smoke ring, so we lined that up a couple times this year, and I've been very, very happy the way that those two have made it together, and definitely plan on keep doing that in the future. Just the way the Mystery Relevant pigs have fed, just with bone and feature, and obviously they had a very good run last year. I'm still kind of kicking myself that we sold them in the exchange there, but I think this Relevant boar is going to do very good for us there at home as well. So.
Yeah, for sure. The spot gilt is one of those there that was a kind of a sell highlight. If you're looking for a breed pig, regardless if you're looking for a show gilt, you could definitely have her marked high. Just as Zach said, the Mr. Irrelevant deal, which I would say had to be the worst name ever for a boar, but you corrected it and got one that's relevant now, I guess. And anyway, we're going to kind of move on the way up there, but I think she's phenomenally good, and I think one of those there that obviously from a very proven lineage. There on both sides there. The belted gilt, she's a little smaller than some of the other ones that we've had. There's a lot of really, really good gilts here. To me, again, it's always neat to kind of see as they kind of come sell each season in different sales as we go. I would almost think that this was a gilt that Zach would bring in a ring here. She would just kind of come in the population. I'd pick her out because she is so stout and so dense and so hairy. She's got absolutely monstrous feet there. If you study her right at the surface there for sure. A gilt there that I think you could take for a long time if you wanted to. Really, really nice one there that Zach brings. That crossbred gilt is tagged 39. The spot was 76. We're going to bring in another Culture Shock sired pig there, and to be Swecky's leadoff there. He's going to be tag number 7. We've seen a lot of Culture Shocks throughout the preview here, and not only from Sloan, from all the different breeders here. I think this is a very good representation of the boar, and then of Swecky. Again, this is the leadoff, tag 7.
This is going to be our Culture Shock back on a Wide Awake, My Intention. That sow is a gilt litter that we have here, and that grandma's done a very good job. All our My Intention sows have done very good and had very good litters. But that Culture Shock's done a great job. I love calico barrows. I think this one just represents a very good feeding one with some extras. The way that this one's put together, I think, is very good and be a fun one to feed. Probably not going to act very good here without his buddies, but I do like this barrow bunch.
Yeah, for sure here, and there's pigs that you like. There's pigs that we've talked about memorable, and there's things, and I actually wrote love next to this pig last night. I completely dig this calico pig. Whatever adjective you want to use or verb or whatever that is there. I think really the only thing we got to get home and get his attitude right, and you're going to have a very, very competitive show bear. I think its color is awesome there too. So again, this is the last one in the trio fair from Swecky. Tag number 7, Culture Shock male pig. We've got Mark Gray in next. We've got 4 here. The first pair that Gray Show Pigs will bring us is going to be tag 78. That's going to be the blue one, the blue butted one. The blue belted one there has got a red tag. He's tag 93.
Well, certainly we'd like to start off by saying we appreciate the invite and love coming to Top Shelf. I want to thank Tanya and Scotty and Troy and the whole Team Sloan crew for having us. Something that we look forward to when we're making these sows up and breeding them. We're thinking about Top Shelf for these February hogs. This is something that we take pride in and really want to have come up and try to get something. This litter here is out of a sow there that we come from Roseburg. I was up there a year ago there and seen quite frankly, back on that 5'2" never before sow that he had, and he had it bred to extreme measures. So it's been 2 years ago, I guess. But anyway, we bought that, told him he had to have a gilt out of that deal. That never before sow went back to a sow there that come from us that was really good. So piled a lot of them sows in and a lot of that family tradition on the bottom side. And we bred her to Anomaly. This is our gilt litter. Anomaly's a hog there that was at Halfins. It's done a very good job, and we really like the hog and liked his pedigree. Pair of blues, then our leadoff hog is another mate. It's odd to bring 3 pigs to a sale of this quality, but I thought this was definitely a highlight litter, a really good litter. The blue one there, love his color. I think that's a very good hog, but absolutely love his color pattern and his blue hawk. Really do like that hog in his look. And then the blue belted one, I know some people prefer the blue belted one, kind of the little younger brother, but I think another hog that feeds and has got a very good chance later on.
Yeah, for sure. And the leadoff is, like you said, is a litter mate. He's going to be a belted one, and then we've got a pair of blue ones. Kind of pick your color, pick your style, I guess, that you like the most. This more blue-butted one, like you say, loved his color. I saw his picture, and I try not to get too into pictures on live sell pigs there as we kind of go, but he was one that I went ahead and clicked and made bigger on my phone and looked at him a little bit further. He's got a striking color, but he's also got a striking presence, and one of those that, again, looks like a good big one as he gets done. The blue belted one's probably just a little bit more modern in terms of length of body, and with that maybe has even that much more early spread up top comparatively. Again, blue belted ones, a lot of people grabbed to that color, and I think that'll be a very good feeding one. He's tagged 93. The blue belted brother here is tagged 78. Again, we've got a pair more from Gray Show Pigs. Mark's leadoff is a litter mate to the ones we just talked about. He's the belted one that'll come in the ring here. He's tagged 9. And then we've got a mostly white one. I guess I wrote down maybe calico. I'm not sure how much color he has on him, but calico, mostly white one would be tagged 41.
The belted one there that's coming across, that is our leadoff hog, and he was kind of the he-man at birth and has continued to be that, the one that had the mass and the density and the feature of the legs was also the big stout one at birth and the big stout one in the litter. Again, he's an anomaly, extreme measures, quite frankly, back on the 5'2", never before, a hog that we've liked extremely well and one that we're proud to lead off the sale with. I think a hog that feeds to wherever you need to go with him. I think this is a really nice hog. Then the calico hog, he's a culture shock, and our culture shocks was probably our feature litter there in December, a very, very good litter of hogs in the December group. And then this is actually a late January hog. But another one of our feature litters. We've sold a couple of them at Holy Smokes and saved this one and one that we've been very proud of for a very long time. That sow was one that Madeline showed that was very successful in the point series. Got along extremely well there showing and won a couple of shows and stuff. She had our top gilt there at the she sale last year that we sold our gilt litter out of, quite frankly. And again, this litter out of Culture Shock, and everybody knows what he's going to do and what the pigs look like. We're extremely excited. Again, we want to thank Troy and Team Sloan and Tanya and Scotty. Just extremely excited and glad to be here.
Well, thank you, Mark, and I think an awesome pair here. I don't know why we got into so many good calicos this time, but this is another one that's way, way high on my list there, and obviously I have a gilt there that was awesome there in her show career. If you are able to get on top of her, that pig, and I know you probably can't see online, he maybe has the deepest ditch and the most aggressive turn up top of any pig that we've seen in here, and yet still his muscle texture behind reads right. It's not round and bunchy. That's a really neat pig that I think would be a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to have in your barn there for sure. Like Mark said, this belted one that's his leadoff mates to those last two blues was the he-man of the group. I think we could call him that there today for sure. He is monstrous coming at you. He may be as big in his inner cage or cavity of any of them there, big and bulky muscled, and again, looks like to me you would able to get him dense enough and heavy enough to show in September, but if you needed him there early November, you probably could do so too. And he's got a big window, not because of just maturity, just in terms of usefulness and the way that his muscle is laid on his body. So really good way to end the last two of Mark Gray's Gray Show Pigs. Tag 9's the leadoff. The calico was tagged 41. Next pair, we've got a pair from Brockman Farms here. We've got Josh will discuss this pair, but their leadoff is going to be tag 18. It'll have the one that's got white back legs, the one that carries driving there. The more traditionally belted one will be tag 50.
Well, just to echo, thanks to Troy and the crew and all for having us up for the first time. Brought a pair of male pigs. Gary's got the white-legged one that's tag 18 that we'll start with. I made the comment online, he's bred very, very similar to Nightmares, and the more I looked at it this morning, not only on the immediate side of being a stud monkey on the top side and wild side mother, but then as they draw back, they're actually even more similar than I thought, going back to some similar bred Kingpin sows, and then back to Mai's aunt and that original 11-litter, 1133 Step 1 sow that we've kind of built a lot of the farm around. I like that pig a bunch. The stud monkey thing has been incredibly fun, and if you haven't got to see any of those little
Most of them don't have that kind of arm, skull, chest, and knee up front at this size and this stage. I really think that pig has a neat feeding window and a neat presence, and Kelton could comment. He got to see enough of the stud monkey deals feed this time. The traditional Hampshire marked one's tag 50. He wasn't liking his tag. Both times we tried to put it in, so we just left it out, and Troy kind of gave us the okay on that. So the Hampshire appearing one's tag 50. He doesn't have a tag in his ear that will run there in the second round. He's a woke on a first litter buckle up gilt. I've made the comment online. We've bred most of those 39 litter gilts to woke already. I like that pairing very, very well, and he ties back to that same Sal family. Albus family had the reserve bear there at Houston just a few weeks ago. That was out of woke. The champion heavyweight Hampshire this time at San Antonio was one we had out of woke. Woke on our stuff has seemed to click really, really good. So again, appreciate the opportunity, and just see him how you like him. Catch us in the back for any questions.
Well, obviously, Josh and Kerry and the Brockman crew have been very, very successful the last few years, and several years at that. But it just seems like once they figure out what's going to work on a certain sow or certain sow line or sow family, they're able to repeat it, and that's why it continually is very, very good. The one thing, regardless where you go, and just talking about phenotype that's non-negotiable at the place, is they're going to be stout, they're going to be dense, and they're going to be burly, and this pair is definitely that. The chromed up one comes, and like Josh said, stud monkey's just one of those boars. I got to see him when he was a little pig. I got to see him when he grew up and goes. But now, more importantly, as a sire group, he's one of those pigs. If I like the pig, I'm going to bid on him as long as I can to try to get him, because you're going to love him in the end. And they do feed the stuff there from Blunt's. It seems like they always just keep getting better, keep getting stouter, keep going, and feed really well. Stud monkeys for sure, and I think this is a great representation of that in tag 18. Tag 50, again, I said pay no mention to sell order. Doesn't necessarily matter. Last night, even with his head turned over, he was one of the ones that I liked as good as any pig in the barn there. We talked about him being dense, stout and burly from Brockman's, and this one maybe takes it even that much further. That one is stout armed. He is big pinned, and he is one really, really stout one at the surface there, as we just said. The woke deal's been awesome there, and I think this one really represents woke on Josh's stuff there on the south side. So again, that one's tag 15. That's the more traditionally belted one. Carries on the lead off, tag 18. We're on our final pair of firms here. We're going to start there with Lidner Show Pigs there. Luke will come and discuss his lead off. This will be tag 16.
Thanks, Kelton, for the introduction. Thanks to Team Sloan for having us. This guy, tag 16, is going to be our leadoff here. He's going to be a white flag out of a sow we call Treasure. She actually comes from the Knight firm. She was a litter mate to the Champion Cross my brother-in-law had in 24 at San Antonio. She herself was the reserve lightweight cross gilt we had at San Antonio there. We've struggled to probably get her going, but this is one of her first bears that we'll let out, and one we really, really like. So tag 16, the orange tag, again, he would be a white flag, smoke another.
We've heard of white flag quite a bit, or he caused quite a bit of stir. As good as he was, as impressive he was on phenotypically, and then obviously everybody's mind is immediately drawn to making white ones, making blue ones with ones like that. But there were a great group of belted white flags, and I think this one again represents that. Again, from Lidner Show Pigs, and a firm there that just does such a phenomenal job. If you're able to ever go to the farm sales and just see that massive number of pigs that are consistently good built, stout, hairy, dense, the right kind of maturity, the right kind of length of body, and that's why just class after class at our major shows there, they're always at the very, very top, and the hardest probably group to beat of any of them there. I love this pig right here. Again, all those same things that we talked about there, with an absolute monstrous rib cage. It looks like he's always going to be big and broad up top. That one looks like he feeds just perfect into the fall too. From a size perspective, I think he's positioned extremely good. That's tag 16. Again, this is the lead off from Lidner Show Pigs. The next pair that we have coming in that Luke will discuss, they are litter mates. They're also out of white flag. The blue one is tag 48. The chromed up male pig here would be tag 82.
Yeah, a pair of litter mates, the yellow tag 48, and then the blue tag 82. Again, litter mates, white flag sired pigs out of a young wide awake sow. This is actually her second litter. Her first litter would have yielded the reserve lightweight crossbred we had at Fort Worth, and a really nice second place bear we had at San Antonio. A good young sow, goes back to some of our better stuff. If you trace back, it'll get back into White Flag's grandma. That'll also get back into our Kirby sow. So again, White Flag, wide awake, two pigs we really like and think have a shot to feed.
Definitely, and we already talked about blue ones, and when they're of this caliber, it doesn't matter if you got a blue division or just showing with the crossbreds. I think that one's going to surface and be very, very good. Camlin actually showed a white flag sired blue pig from Luke at Houston this time, and ended up being reserve division there at Houston, where they don't have a blue division. And so this pig, I definitely wouldn't shy away color-wise. I think his color is absolutely gorgeous, but it looks like a white flag in terms of stoutness of skull, width between his eyes. For one that's got some length of body, everything still blends together just seamlessly. He's long-hipped, and his bend to his rear leg is absolutely phenomenal. Then we've got the belted littermate choice there that again, white flag, belted pig there. That seems like it's gotten along extremely good. He was another one there that I absolutely loved his picture, and you could tell that was going to be a very, very good feeding pig there. He's going to be tag 82. The blue one again is tag 48, Lidner Show Pigs. Well, Cameron Knight Farms will come in next, and this will be our final pair that we'll have in this initial preview. We will end up posting this preview, and that's why we take it just a little bit longer. We realized in the middle of the week there in April, we're not going to have as many people in attendance in the morning deal. The crowd continues to grow here, and we welcome everybody to come. We are going to kind of have a happy hour social there at about 3:30, and then we'll have another preview online on KV's Facebook there at 5 o'clock. Dinner will be served at 6:30, and then the sale is a live sale, live event, 7 o'clock here at the Team Sloan Sale Facility, Top Shelf Spring Edition. There will be online bidding, cci.live. We can get transportation anywhere in the country, particularly south. Right after the sale, guys will be heading and booking south there, so make sure you get with the consigners, breeders, Troy, myself, whoever you need to coordinate to. Make sure you get connected and know where they need to go. We can get them pretty much trucked anywhere there. But awesome set of pigs, a great way to finalize the preview. Again, it will be posted that you can go back and review things there later on. But we've got night show pigs here. Cameron will discuss his pair. 15 is the orange tag belted male pig there. That's the lead off, and the yellow tag is tag 47.
Well, thank you, Kelton, and a great preview. I was fortunate enough to go last, so I got to look at most of the pigs. Seems like an outstanding set. Our first time here. Thank you, Troy. It's been a blast. Pigs are awesome. Our two pigs here are 7-litter males. They would be unrivaled Trick 4 heroes. Mom would have been reserve grand there at State Fair of Texas, reserve grand crossbred gilt. Grandma raised Rolling Stone at Laird's. Been a great sow for us. And this sow's, their mom's first litter would have raised the Gresham family's reserve D1 Hamp at San Antonio there this time. We saved back our best for Top Shelf here. Two pigs I'm awfully proud of. Take them how you like them. Didn't really choose a lead off or whatever. I like these two pigs regardless of what round they're in. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Cameron. And again, a pair of pigs there that represent the Knight family, I think extremely good, and what that program has done. The one thing that Troy's done, obviously we're right here, I guess you could call it a quote-unquote farm sale, but it's the Top Shelf event, and he has made sure to invite the guys that have surfaced to the top consistently are winning and the best of the best, and they bring the cream of their crop for this particular group there. And I think this pair, Cameron had an awesome online sale last night. I think we've had a great spring selling season, and absolutely a force to be reckoned with at all the shows that we go to, and it's almost impossible to get around. This pair, even though they're litter mates, I don't think look exactly the same. The lead off there, the orange tag one there, is probably the bigger outline, even the more extended one there. His shape up top, and you just talk about dimension and width to his pin set and upper hip, is absolutely phenomenal there. He wasn't feeling as good last night and wasn't as full as he is here. We got him right now, and this thing looks absolutely incredible to me. Tommy in tag 15. His brother there in 47, maybe even chubbier, maybe even denser, maybe even bulkier centered. He is always going to look like a stout featured, a moderate one in terms of length of body, and just looks like muscle texture, proportions look like he's going to feed forever. And for a stout legged one, he's still propped up and strong down low. Very, very good kind of a pig there from a feeding aspect. He's tag 47. Again, Cameron's lead off is going to be tag 15. Again, that concludes the preview. It took, I guess, 5 minutes over 2 hours, as we thought it'd be a 2-hour preview there. But again, it'll be posted. We know everybody can't come here there, but if you're within driving distance, I'd encourage you to join us here. The sale will be at 7 o'clock. You can review there. All breeders, consigners, myself, anybody there around would be happy to answer any questions, concerns, or things to go get transport put together there. But an awesome set of pigs, great group of consigners there. Definitely reach out if you got any questions. Again, that concludes the first preview, Top Shelf Spring Edition here at Team Sloan facility in Cameron, Missouri. We appreciate everybody for tuning in.